Hello and welcome to Board Stupid. My name's Wayne.
And I'm Matt.
And back by popular demand, we're here with another topical discussion for you because you liked the first one.
Yeah, we didn't really know if we want to hear what we think about the board game world and what's happening with all that stuff, but seems like you guys
People have spoken.
Liked it, so
and we
here
will
we
deliver.
go. So yeah, why not? Let's do more. Let's do more.
That's what we're doing, and the topic of this episode's discussion is if crowdfunding games is still worth it.
And we got very different opinion on this. So,
Spicy topic for you, a nice spicy one, but you know the spiciest thing of all, Matt?
The spiciest thing I think is that red button here.
It's pretty
that
spicy.
You can click and subscribe to the channel, so
spicy.
you can find out every time that we got some more content for you, and we trying to push out a lot of content for you guys because you seems to like it. We like doing it. We like to hear from you and all your comment and stuff. So yeah, let's do it.
Let's keep that thing going on. The spice is nice. Keep doing it.
But another things that I want to mention, because we got something for you guys.
We certainly do.
This video is sponsored by the guys at Into the AM and the guys that produce these amazing graphic t-shirts, and for you we got a 10% exclusive discount that you can using this code here on the checkout, or even better, if you go down in the description, you will find our link, our exclusive link, where you can find the discount. So it's nice and easy.
If you're lazy like me, just click the link. It will automatically apply.
And the guys just do some amazing t-shirt. Look at this. I got a night astronaut, and I love this stuff.
They've got some great t-shirts, and I said to Matt actually before we started recording, I'm going to use my own link and order a bunch of stuff because I need some new clothes.
I mean, there's some very nice stuff.
There's some great stuff
on the
on
website. There is all stuff like Japanese theme or geeky themes.
Yeah,
or
really
if you're not into like too much of that stuff, there's a very good like classy stuff as well that it looks absolutely fantastic, and you can rock up in the office with your Into the AM outfit.
Absolutely. So go check that out.
Yeah.
Should we dig in, Matt?
Let's do it.
Matt, I've got a few things I want to get off my chest about why I basically don't crowdfund games anymore.
Okay, let's
they'll set the stage for you.
Let's give the guys our the stage of this thing. So I back a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Even too sometimes definitely too much. I had a couple of years where I was constantly backing, and at this moment in time I got a lot of stuff that's been delivered that I completely forgot that I even
You've got a spreadsheet. He's got a spreadsheet.
I do have a
spreadsheet,
yes, with all that stuff, and that's bad, but I do enjoy a lot of games. So,
so that's your position.
That is my position. While I know that you are very kind of skeptic or more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tremendously more skeptical. I think I in the past have backed games plenty, and at this point I rarely, if ever, and it has to be like basically a game that's going to retail anyway, and they'll do it for like for whatever reason, but it's super rare, man. It's like once in a blue moon, once every 3 months, maybe once every 6 months.
Which one is the last one that you backed? I know. Kabuto Sumo.
Kabuto Sumo, yeah, because you know that one. Yeah, because that's basically going to come to retail anyway.
Fair enough.
Right, it's going to come, so there's like limited risk for me. I just wanted that game, so and it was cheap. So I'll give you a few reasons as to why I don't think it's worth it anymore, and let's have a chat about it. So. Logistics and shipping prices worldwide have gone through the roof.
Yes.
To the point now where it's almost as much as the game sometimes.
It came down in the last probably 4 or 5 months. Not even close to what it was before pandemic, that period. Last year, there's been a certain point with some of the few big games. For example, I got the all-in for Marvel Zombies, and the shipment cost me basically like buying a couple of like good board games, and that sucks a lot, especially because when you back now they're much better to tell you more or less what the cost of shipment is going to be, but last year, myself included, a lot of people been burned by that kind of stuff, and I know that put off a lot of people because it's like, oh, why do I need to pay this game $100 and a $50 of shipment when I can get it for retail for basically not paying the shipment? And that is, I do understand. However, the good things that you got against the retail version a lot of time is all the additional stuff that I don't know. I know that you not really care, but I'm a collectionist to the heart, and I really love all the additional content, all the extra miniatures, and I know a lot of people don't care, and I sometimes ask myself, why did I back all this stuff? But I do like it, I do like it, and being able for the game, especially for the games that I really love, to have more.
Well, let's talk about that, because I think that is quite interesting. I think definitely it bugs me when there is no incentive to crowdfund. So for example, if you're basically getting the same game as you would get at retail, but you're just paying more money, what's the point, right? You're never going to, like, there's that would bug me for sure. And it has happened before. But on the flip side, Matt, I think having too much content is another thing that scares me off, actually, because it makes me concerned that if you've got loads of expansions added in on top of the game, like, is the game missing something without it? Is the expansions just fluff that is actually no good? Is it like? Do you see what I mean?
I think that is case by case. For example, let's take Marvel Zombies, because I just talked about it. All the extra stuff, for example, that big box of minis. Do you need it? No. Are you a Marvel fan and will love every time picking up a different character? Go for it. And that's what I did. Doesn't really add much to the game, besides being different. I do not like when a campaign comes out with already two or three expansion planned.
It's like day one DLC. You know, it bugs me.
Why could you? And most of the time, then when you see it, it's like, well, this could have definitely been in the core box. That is really annoying.
It's like, did they pull it out of the game just to make like a FOMO type thing?
And sometimes it's very much misleading when you actually read about the campaign. Because I'm one of those that, I back a lot of stuff, but I do go through all the information.
Fine detail.
No, of course, because I'm still spending money on it. And
of course, you spend a lot of money as well.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got to be good.
Every time I see like this, why is this an expansion? This should be part of the game. That really puts me off. And most of the time when it's like that, it's like, I'm really sorry, I'm not gonna back this game. Sometimes yes.
Sometimes do it anyway. But that's entirely fair. But I do feel like when there's a bunch of expansions with it, I feel like an expansion should be when the game is out and it's been played a lot, and then players give feedback about what they want to see. That's when you get a really good expansion, because then the publisher can go, do you know what? We didn't think about that, or maybe we should develop that and then add it in. If it's in part of the whole Kickstarter campaign, at the same time, I get a little bit like, oh man, why are you doing this? Like I said, have you pulled it out of the game just to make money or no? Another thing that I think has really put me off has been a couple of bad experiences where games either just haven't been play tested properly or have been in development through the entirety of the campaign. And then you get a game which still feels like it's missing rules or like has a problem with rules.
This is very, very bad. I don't like it at all.
I mean,
there is someone else with another channel much bigger than us that always says,
that
says make games, not campaigns, and I back it 100%. And it's the king of average, by the way, if you want to check. Well, we don't need to say it's just like it's. And I back that like 1,000%.
Yeah.
There's been after the boom of the crowdfunding stuff a couple of years ago, a lot of publishers, a lot of publisher designer, call it whatever it is, they start seeing like, oh, you know what, we can make a lot of money with this. I know I don't have the game, but I might have a good IP or I might have a good idea.
Let's just put it on.
I'll get your money now and then I'll build the game after.
Yeah.
And that happened a lot,
Yeah.
a lot. I think now we are in a better state than it was a couple of years ago when there was like game coming out literally like every single day. I think now this is slightly better, especially because the audience became a little bit more savvy, a little bit better with that, because they've been burned before, including myself. And now if I don't see that there is a downloadable, even work in progress rule book, that for me is a red flag, going back to the red flag videos. I want to read the rules. I want to read the rules because I want to understand how much work has been put already into the game.
Yeah, I think that's an entirely fair assessment, mate. I think you should definitely look for a solid rule book before you even...
But today, that it became now a very much a common thing that the publisher are doing, and rightfully, because people wants to know, it looks nice, the minis are nice, the IP is nice, but what the actual game is.
So let's link into that a little bit, because I actually think, to a lot of extent, the crowdfunding model rewards style over substance. Where if you've got a big flashy campaign with lots of minis and lots of like stuff, it kind of hides the fact that sometimes the games can be thin, like, or just be riddles with issues. And I think that is endemic of the whole process of crowdfunding.
It does. I'm not gonna make any names, but I did back a few like large games with a lot of minis and stuff like that looked really pretty, very shiny, but then the game was not great. But at the same time, instead you got other production that been doing absolutely amazing. Like for example, Hot Swan is something that it was expensive.
Lots of minis,
game,
but also
a big
amazing
game. But what a game!
Absolutely.
Again, I'm trying these days to be a little bit better with myself, to not go just like, oh my god, those minis looks cool, let's back it. I try, not successfully all the time, but at least I'm trying to do my due diligence before. At least I try to, now what I do a lot of time is start like understanding who are the publisher, what games the designer did before, what's the campaign state for all the stuff that they did, were they like good at every time delivering the games, or they had problems all the time. So that is something that I would invite you to do. Nowadays it's like, because the information that all over the internet is very easy to find out. If you're interested into the games and you're not really sure who the publisher is, go on BGG, go on Discord or stuff like that. There's thousands of forums, trying to understand who they are, who are you giving your money to, and then make have the knowledge to make the right call. Then things can go wrong, or things that have been done wrong in the past could go better, but absolutely check.
And I think alongside the whole idea of the style over substance thing, I think a lot of crowdfunding is built around the whole fear of missing out, man, right? So you're going,
it is.
If you want to back our stuff at the highest tier, you better do that, or actually you're not going to get this expansion, and this bonus, and this extra content, and this, that, and the other. And I think there came a point, I can't remember when it was, probably a few years ago at this point, where I kept seeing this type of marketing over and over again, and my brain just went, you know what? sod off. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I'm not interested. I've like, as you know, I've kind of reverted back to like, just give me like 90s Euro games. And
Yeah.
like, just
I mean,
like where it's like
they-
things were simple and games were good.
Yeah, they oversaturated the FOMO things.
Yeah.
Everywhere was the FOMO. Like, oh, this is just now, just for today, just for the first
Early
30
back
seconds.
for the top backer, you can get this stuff.
Yeah, that is that's bad.
That's something
that's
that does bug me, and it's still pretty present, I think. Like,
Yes, in a different way.
okay.
In a slightly different way. You don't see a lot of now like, oh, you're never gonna see this again, and or stuff like that. They a little bit they do it in a smarter way.
Okay.
For example, now one thing that is very common is like, oh, you got all the game with all the expansion. I'm gonna give you this fantastic box where you can keep all the components together.
Mm-hmm.
It's a smarter way to doing that FOMO, because otherwise you'd be like, oh, then I got like all these boxes, like they sell you the storage solution.
Yeah.
But then going back, say, oh, shouldn't already been like that without.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So
the FOMO is a thing. I fell for it a lot of time. I still fall for it. I try to again, I say, trying to be better.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a thing.
It does kind of also somewhat get on my nerves when I see relatively large publishers using Kickstarter as a way to devolve risk.
Yes.
So where you've got people like big publishers, they're like, do you know what, actually, we're going to use Kickstarter and not bring it to retail because we don't want the risk of it not working, so we're going to put that on the consumer. Whereas I remember when it started, Kickstarter was about like crowdfunding games, right? New ideas, new starters, small companies. Let's create something, and it helped build the new golden age of board gaming. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it for what it is, for sure. But I think it's a different animal now.
I 100% agree with you. Those large, big companies, I'm not saying they should not be allowed to do so,
No.
but then the same companies and then saturate the market. There are a few famous that do amazing games, but they come out with like a massive game every 2-3 months. And I mean, how much money you have, you're not gonna always be able to back everything. And they kind of like put in the shadow smaller publisher or something like that you could have spent money on, but if you already spent $400 on this or that game, you're probably not gonna back the $60 game. So I think that should be a little bit better, and the platform themselves should help the smaller publisher as well. And I know that GameFound is trying to do that, trying to put like, for example, being dedicated to the board game industry, trying to push out like the smaller publisher in front and not always getting you the big stuff. For example, one that I found through GameFound was Behemoth. That we had the interview. Go have a look to the link. That is a
Truly independent.
Yeah, true independent.
Design,
Is Andrea, the designer, and that is got his own publishing company. That is always him. And it was on the front page of GameFound, and I clicked. It looked very interesting. We went to the Paradise Board Game Convention, and we managed to play the game and speak with the guy, and it was absolutely amazing. And it's something that now is on top of my list for when the game is gonna be on GameFound. But yes, there should be more help from the platform themselves to not get those big companies just to saturate the market.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah,
because those companies already got the money. They already gonna keep doing games. So let's start moving a little, shift the focus a little bit for some ones that may come out with the next great idea. That is more like my please, GameFound, Kickstarter, and you guys as well. Trying to look around a little bit. If you go on the GameFound, like what's coming next tab, there's a lot of stuff. There is a lot of games that are like completely like unknown publisher that could be actually your next favorite game.
Absolutely, man. And I've got one more that I'll dig at you.
Go on.
So where we talked about risk and like publishers throwing it on you, obviously the biggest potential thing for me that really does put me off is the project's just falling over and failing. And which I've been burned by it. You've been burned by it, I'm sure.
Yes, I've been burned. For all the games that I backed, I've been burned 1% of the time.
Okay.
And it's been a half burn. So I'm talking about Anister, that was supposed to from Mythic Game, and is public domain. That Mythic Game is not doing very well, and they basically say they cannot deliver Anister and what was the other Blood? What was
I can't remember the other one, but there was another game that just fell over.
Hell, sorry,
Hell, that's right, HEL. Yeah.
They can't deliver, and I did back one of those games with a not all in for once, because I'm all in or die, but I did get burned. They're not gonna deliver the game. Thankfully, Simon kind of bought the IP, and they say they're gonna deliver the game. Only the core box is gonna be given to the people that already backed, and that's for someone that went all in. That really burns, and I'm really sorry for that. But the other things that they told is that the game was not in the state.
Yeah, not in any shape, I think, to be delivered. So,
and that is really annoying. So going back to the one of all, don't do a campaign, do a game.
Yeah.
Because they sold me with this idea that this game was something like Golden Axe on a board game. That I've grown up playing Golden Axe, so that was a dream.
Yeah.
And I can't swear on camera, but you know what? You can imagine what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
But it's been. I've probably been lucky, but there's been a lot of games that's been delayed.
Oh, loads of that. Every game,
I do not.
Does bug me as well.
I do not care too much. I do not care about too much if it's delayed. If it's a silly delay.
Robinson Crusoe.
Jesus.
Sorry. This week, maybe.
Oh yeah.
This week. Yeah. We'll see.
Finger crossed. We might do these things next year, and the game is not being. A slight delay, especially from independent publisher that they've never done it before, if the game's supposed to come, it's 6 months delay, a year delay. I've got so many other games that I can play. I don't really mind. If it's a big company that does it, that really
less
bugs me
patience.
off.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of like sometimes it is what it is. Doesn't really put me too much off. But if I see a pattern of the same company, 6 months delay, a year delay, another year delay, I'm probably not gonna back the next one.
But I'll wrap that up there, Matt. And
we can talk about this like all day and night.
Yeah, there is also absolutely some positive things to say. I mean, there are some Kickstarter exclusive games that you'll basically not get unless you back them because the publisher is small, so they can't afford to go through full distribution.
Good example.
Daybreak was one I missed, I think.
I backed a game from a Japanese designer that is called Ostia, and it's amazing. Ostia is where I grew up as a kid. Ostia is the seaside of Rome, and having a Japanese designer that makes games based on the place where I grew up is absolutely. And I could get the game just because he's on a crowdfunding platform.
Exactly.
Otherwise, I would have never ever seen that game.
Absolutely.
So again, the smaller publishers should be pushed more and have a look to the smaller bits, because a lot of times there are like hidden gems on these crowdfunding things. But absolutely, crowdfunding is not dead. It's not gonna be dead. It's going toward the right direction. I don't think it's in the right place, but thanks to people like us, like you guys, that actually actively comment or send messages to the publisher, they start seeing the signs and they start adjusting their aim to the right things. I'm not saying that everybody's doing it. I'm not saying that it's gonna get better soon. I think it's is slowly steering toward the right
you can
things,
speak
but
with your
it's,
wallet, right? You can speak with your wallet and choose very carefully what you back. And I think, as Matt has pointed out rightly through our conversation here, that knowledge is power. Make sure you do your research before you get in there. And what do you think, though? Is anything that we've spoken about giving you pause for thought? Are you all in or die, like Matt? Or are you a little bit more...
I should ask the guys in 2 AM to make me like a t-shirt like
give us a new one, just a whole graphic tee. Are you all in or die? Or are you a bit more like me, just like maybe if one, like you really got to get it, but actually otherwise you don't really like it because of the whole problems that I've already talked about for crowdfunding?
We really want to hear what you think, so leave a comment below. Let us know. Let's open the conversation. Hopefully you liked our little chat. Again, this is not the truth. This is just our point of view, and hopefully you enjoyed this little chat. Make sure to like, make sure to share, make sure to check all the content, and most of all, hit the subscribe button.
You don't need to fund it. No advance
there's
money required.
There's nothing, no money involved. It's just like click that things. And talking actually about money, why, if you need to buy your next t-shirt, why don't you go into our link for the guys in 2DM, where you can find 10% off on some fantastic graphic t-shirt. Have a look, because they got so much cool stuff.
So go do that. Let us know in the comments what you thought about our crowdfunding. Is it still worth it? We'd like to know. I'd like to know.
Let us
know. Until I know, we'll catch you again real soon.
Ciao.